Hey everyone, Mr. Montgomery again, and today we are starting a brand new unit in math. We are on Unit 2, Lesson number 1. So at the top of your paper it should say Lesson 2-1. And this is on page 57, circling that at the bottom. Now the number 57 is a 5 in the tens place and a 7 in the ones. This isn't part of the lesson, but I'm still going to do it anyway. So remember, and when we have a two-digit number, this is always the tens. And over here is always the ones. Okay, so the page number 57, we have 5 tens and 7 ones. So make sure that if you're not on this page, pause the video, get to page 57, and then press play. Okay, I'm just going to erase that real quick. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to practice something called counting on. Now, if you're in my classroom, I did show you guys this a few times on the number line. If you're not in my classroom, it's possible that your teacher did show you a number line and showed you how to jump on a number line. That is one way you can count on. We're going to do this using a fun drawing, as always. And we're going to do two little example problems here before we jump to the next page. So in this big pie on your paper, we're going to draw a line going all the way across. It does not have to be perfect. So don't get upset if it's not perfect. It's okay if it's not. Because we're going to do one at the top and then one on the bottom. And you're going to see why we're doing two. Alright, so let's read this little story up top. And we're going to find out what exactly we're doing with this big pie, this bunny, and find out what is going on. You give the rabbit a number card. Now we're just going to make up a number because we don't have cards. This is a video. That's just silly. So let's start off with a small number. Let's make the number 2. So in the pot, write the number 2 on the top half. Okay. Now let's read more. The rabbit puts that many carrots into the pot. So we wrote the number 2. That's like saying we have 2 carrots in this pot right now. Then he puts 2 more carrots. Circle those that number in that word. 2 and more. Now when we see the word more, we talked about this a lot, guys. I hope you remember. When we see this word more, does that mean we're going to be adding or subtracting? Or we're going to be using a plus sign or a minus sign? Point to one of them on the screen right now. Which one do you think it is? It's the plus sign. So when we see the word more, we're usually going to be adding and making a bigger number. So we have 2 more carrots. So what we're going to do is right next to the pot, we're going to draw a picture. Now, instead of doing a square or a circle, let's make something a little bit more carrot-shaped, like triangles. Triangles kind of look like carrots. So 2 more, so we're going to draw 2 carrots. 1, 2. And if you want to be fancy and very artistic, you make like the little, the little stems coming out of the carrots. You don't have to if you don't want to, it's okay. So we have our carrots. And what we're going to do is we're going to count on to see how many carrots we have all together. We have 2 in the pot, and we have to count on to see how many we have total, including these 2 carrots over here. So we start by tapping the number and saying it out loud. 2. After we do that, we're going to count on by ones. So 1 more than 2 is 3. And then 1 more than that is 4. So right there, we just counted 4 carrots all together. So let's try one more time, okay? We're just going to repeat it. 2, 3, 4. And if you want, you can always number them when you count. 2, 3, 4. 4 is our total number of carrots. Let's do one more little example problem, okay? One more little example problem. Let's do a bigger number though. Let's instead of 2, let's do 4. So go ahead, write the number 4 in the bottom half of the pot. Now remember, we're for the bottom half, we're doing a totally new one. We're not counting the carrots up top. We're going to just count what we have on the bottom. Okay? So if we're starting with 4 and we're still going to add 2 more, how many carrots do we need to draw? We need to draw 2. Let's do it. 1, 2, and that's it. And of course you can make those that little green part kind of right there. If you want to be a little artsy, that's fine. Now that since I showed you already how to count on, I want to just let you guys try this one on your own. We're not using huge numbers. We have to start at 4, count on 2 more, and see what total you get really quick. I'm not going to give a ton of time for this one, but just give it a quick try. Okay, did you get a number? Did you write it down? I really want you guys to try this one on your own. Alright, if you're still counting, you can pause the video. If you're done, let's see if you got the same number I'm going to get. So we start off by tapping the number and saying it out loud. 4. Now we count on by ones. 1 more than 4 is 5. And 1 more than 5 is 6. So the total number of carrots for down here on our second problem is 6. Now just remember, it's the last number that we counted. So if I counted 6 as the last carrot, that is your answer. Up top, I counted 2, 3, 4. 4 was the last carrot I counted. That's our answer. That's all we're doing. Don't overthink it, guys. Don't overthink it. Okay, so we're just counting on by ones down a number line. So let's go ahead and go to page 58. And we're going to try some more sample problems on our own. And of course, we'll go over it together. Okay, here's what page 58 looks like. I'm circling the page number at the bottom. You should see some carrots, some apples, tomatoes, and peppers, and stuff like that. They already made the pictures for us to count on with. And all we're doing differently is we're also going to make a number sentence out of this. And you'll see how super easy it is. Okay, so we're going to go through number 1 together so you know exactly what we're doing. So the first thing we do is we're going to look at the number on the pot. It has the number 3. 3 is the first number in our number sentence. And next we count how many carrots we have. 1 and 2. So we're going to take that number and write it next to the plus sign. Now we have our 2 parts. We have our 3, which is one part, and our 2 extra carrots, which is our other part. Now we need to figure out the total that these 2 numbers make. Now there are 2 ways I'm going to show you that we can solve this. One is just using the picture. The other is using the number line up top that I cleared out so we can use it. Okay, so just like we did on the practice problems earlier, we're going to tap the number 3 and say its name, 3. And now we're going to count on every time we tap a carrot. So 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 carrots altogether. If I wanted to use a number line, which is totally fine if you want to, what you do is you look at this first number. It's 3. We find 3 on the number line. Next, we look at our second number, which is 2. And our second number tells us how many jumps we're going to make. So I'm starting at 3, and I'm going to make 2 jumps because that is how many it's telling us to make, because that's our second number. 1, 2, I landed on 5. And look, it's the same number we already got. So if you are more comfortable using the pictures, that's fine. If you would rather use the number line, that's fine too. I said this last video and I'll say it again, use the way that works best for you. There's no wrong way to do this. All right, let me just clear this off real quick. Okay, so let's go ahead to number 2. What I want you to do is put the 2 parts around the plus sign on your own first. What are the 2 numbers we need around the plus sign? I'll give you guys a quick moment to do that part on your own. All right, did you do it? If you need more time, pause the video. If not, let's set this up together. Make sure you're checking your work. Make sure it's set up properly. So the first number we need is on the pot. What number is on the pot? It's the number 8. So we're going to write that first. That is our first number. It goes right here in our number sentence. It is a part. Next, we're going to count our apples. Actually, let me change my color here. Let's go ahead and count these apples. We have 1, 2 apples. So now our number sentence says 8 plus 2. Now, we could count on, like we did before, using the pictures, or you can use the number line. I'm going to find it on the number line for you, in case you're using the one on the screen. Now, using either method, you could either use the picture and count on, or the number line and count on. I want you to try to find the total on your own. Okay, if you still need time, please pause the video. Hit that spacebar, pause the video right now if you need more time. But if you're totally done and you want to check your answer to see if you did it properly, let's go through it together really quick. So we have 8 plus 2. First, let's use the picture. We have 8, 9, 10. So I got 10 as my answer here. Okay? That's my total that I got from using the picture. Let's see if I get the same answer using the number line. I start on 8, and I need to make 2 jumps because our second number is the number 2. So let's do that. 1, 2, I stop because I made 2 jumps, and I landed on the number 10. And look, 10 was our answer over here too. Both ways, we got a total of 10. So that is our answer. Just clear this up real quick. Sorry, guys. So 8 plus 2 is definitely 10. All right. Go ahead and try number 3 completely on your own. So go ahead and set up your addition sentence and then also solve it. Write the total at the very end. I'll give you guys a few moments. Okay, if you need more time for number 3, go ahead, pause the video. If you're all set and ready to check your answers, well then let's solve this one kind of together. But make sure you're checking your work and make sure it looks just like mine. Okay, so first number we see is a 3 on the pot. That has to be the first number in our number sentence. Okay, so we have 3 plus something. So next we're going to count the tomatoes. 1, 2, 3. We counted the tomatoes to make sure we knew our second parts. So we have 3 in the pot and we have 3 tomatoes next to it. So that gives us 3 plus 3 because we had 1, 2, 3. And that goes right there on the second line. Now we can use the picture or the number line to solve this. Let's use the picture first. So we start by tapping the number and saying its name, 3. Now we're going to count on by ones for every tomato that we tap. So 3, 4, 5, 6. The total I counted was 6 tomatoes, including the ones in the pot and the ones next to it. Let's double check our work on the number line. So we take the first number, which is 3, put a little dot on that 3. But if you're using a Chromebook or a AnyCal laptop, please don't draw on your Chromebook or laptop. That will just hurt it. Okay, so we start on 3. And then our second number tells us how many jumps, which is 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. I landed on 6. And we got 6 as our answer earlier. So that tells us that 3 plus 3 is 6. Alright, so we double checked our work. We got 6 both times. So that is our big total answer. Go ahead and try number 4 on your own. Make the addition sentence, then solve for the total that it makes. Okay, if you're still working on number 4, do me a favor, pause the video. I don't want to leave too much of a no talking part, you know what I mean? Especially if there's some very, very fast mathematicians watching this. Okay, so first we need to set up our number sentence. And make sure you're checking your work along with mine to make sure it looks the same and make sure you made all the correct steps. So first we look at the pot for our first number, which is 7. So that 7 goes on the first line right there. Now we have to count the vegetables next to it to find out our second number. We have 1, 2. So we have 7 plus 2 more peppers. Now we just need to find out the total. So we're going to tap 7 and to start, and then we're going to count on by ones for every pepper we see. So 7, 8, 9. 7 plus 2 is 9. Let's double check our work on the number line. Let's do it. So we start off with 7 because that is the first number in our number sentence. Whatever the first number is, that's where you're going to start on the number line. So you have 7, find 7, put your finger on it. Our second number is 2. That tells you how many jumps. So we're going to start at 7 and make 2 jumps. Let's do it. 1, 2. So we stop because we made our 2 jumps. And we landed on 9. So 7 plus 2 is definitely 9. We used the picture, we used the number line, we got the same answer. Okay, so for this next part is definitely for my class. Make sure you go to page 59 and I'm going to explain what you're going to do all on your own. Alright, so friends in my classroom, this is going to be your independent work for today. I will be collecting the workbooks at the end of class to check your work, make sure that you understand it. So make sure you take your time. Don't rush through this. Make sure you take your time and you do your best. If you really are having a tough time with understanding this, please make sure you let me know. But if I'm teaching, don't interrupt. Just make sure you raise your hand, okay? And I will be explaining the bottom in just a second. So I would like you to do number 5 all the way to 13 completely on your own. They have a number line up top to help you that you can use. It is numbered all the way from 0 to 10. So there's no number above 10 as an answer. That's a little hint. For number 14, I'm going to explain it right now. This is a challenge. 14 is a challenge problem. There's a lot of parts to it. So we're going to do one together, just so you kind of understand it. right here it says 8 plus 0 equals 8. Does 8 plus 0 really equal 8? Well, you can check with your number line up top. Start off with 8. 0 jumps, which means we're not moving, so it is 8. Now, if the addition problem is correct, then you're going to circle true. If it is not correct, you would circle false. Let's do one more together just so you understand it a little bit more. It says 7 plus 1 equals 7. Does 7 plus 1 really equal 7? Well, let's check. Find 7, and we're going to make one jump. We land on 8. So this isn't correct. It's not correct at all. So we would circle false. Okay? So that's what you would do for the bottom. If the addition sentences are correct, you circle true. If they're not correct, circle false. But remember, before you get down here, make sure you do number 5 all the way to 13 on your own. Use the number line to help you. Before I let you guys go, just remember that the first number in a number sentence is where you start. The second number tells you how many jumps. That is a little system that you can just keep going with, and you will always get the right answer. I hope that you guys are finding this out of maybe easy. That would be pretty awesome. Or if maybe it's not easy, but you get it, and it just takes you a little bit of time, that's awesome too. I really hope you guys are understanding this. If you're not, please, like I said before, please let me know. If you're not in my room, let your teacher know that the video is over, and see if they want you to do this independent practice page as well. So as always, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.